first of all, we just start by this. The magazine is very popular. Civil Services Chronicle magazine is very popular. So you started how when you started reading Civil Services Chronicle magazine and how it helped in your success.
I started reading it 3 years back when I started with the preparation, and it provided a very good insight for a lot of subjects, especially for ethics. There is not much good material available in the market, and Chronicle special editions on ethics helped me a lot in paper 4.
Addition to this, other books and other magazines. What type of magazines you read for your subject?
uh, Newspaper was my primary source for everything, for paper 2 and paper 3 especially. The Hindu was the key, and in magazines I referred to the Yojana magazine also, and for especially essay and ethics, a lot, it helped a lot. So magazines only Yojana and the Hindu newspaper.
When you started your preparation for IAS exams, and one should ideally when it start? When should one ideally started the preparation?
I started my preparation 3.5 years back, and I qualified for Assistant Security Commissioner RPF in my first attempt, and This was my third attempt, and ideally it takes 1 year of preparation time and 1 year of writing the exams. So minimum of 2 years is required, and if all the factors work in your favor, it can be cleared in 2 years at least.
So before the preparation, you were working somewhere or
Yes, before I started preparing, I was working as internal auditor with a company called Deloitte in Gurgaon, and I worked there for a year, and then I quit the job for preparing because these things cannot. UPSC preparation is like a full-fledged thing. It requires 100% attention. It could not be managed along with the job, so I left the job and I started preparing.
okay, the vast about given the vast about unlimited syllabus of CSC, how did you study your studies?
The syllabus is humongous, there is no doubt about that, and so getting the right strategy for preparation is the key. Strategy in terms of how you're managing your time and how you're managing the syllabus. So for managing the time, my timetable helped me a lot. I used to make a timetable for every day, for every week and month, so it's like a short term, medium term and a long term timetable, and I made sure that I stick to the timetable. And in terms of course management, I did a lot of selective study and used to make my own notes so that I do not have a pile of material. I always try to concise as much as possible, and I used to consolidate everything that I study in my own notes, and I used to throw away all of the rest material so that at the time of revision, my notes used to be the only thing I referred, and that helped me a lot. And that's why I could get 407 marks in GS, which is one of the highest. That's because of minimum study material and maximum revision.
What are your optional papers for this examination and how did you prepare for this optional paper?
My optional was commerce and accountancy, and because I'm a commerce graduate, I did BCom honors, so that is why it was my first choice. And for preparation, I gathered all the basic books, all my graduation books for commerce, and I joined test series so that I can test how well I'm faring in the preparation, and I took continuous guidance from my teachers and how to approach with the optional subject.
Which standard book you refer for the prelims and mains both?
Actually, there is no one standard book which I can say. And the books for prelims and mains are pretty much the same. And like for world history in mains, I again refer to the NCRTs. So mostly there is one standard book which should be referred so that you can revise it at least 6 to 7 times before the actual exam. Because otherwise, if you have a lot of books to refer on each subject, then you will be not be able to revise anything at the time of exams, and it will just land up in panic. So it is better that have minimum books, good standard books. These NCRTs are the best material as much as possible, and we have to keep revising it again and again.
much you rely on the internet material, because nowadays internet are also a very good source, and in the changing times easier availability of the material on the net. So how do you rely on it?
Internet did come very handy when it came to clearing any doubts. For example, if I'm reading an article in newspaper and there is something that comes up that I feel that I need more information on this very topic, then I used to refer to the internet and just get the basic material from preferably government sites like PIB. And I used to update my notes from the internet when any need is felt. Otherwise, newspaper and the basic books were my first priority. If there is any uh, lacuna I feel in that material, then I used to refer to the internet.
How many hours of studies per day do you think one should put for CSC examinations?
I think 8 to 10 hours of study every day is sufficient enough, and actually, it's the consistency that matters more. It's not about the quantity of hours you put in, but the quality. So, if you're sitting 8 hours, time yourself and just make sure that for those 8 hours, all 100% mind is there in the studies. So, it's the quality of time that matters more than how much hours you're sitting in front of the books.
And what is the style of preparation? Do you follow a timetable for set targets, daily, weekly, or monthly?
Yes, I mentioned before also timetable was one thing that I stick to all throughout my preparation. And also when I used to study, I used to keep a timer for myself, and I used to time if I have to finish a topic or probably a newspaper in 2 hours. I used to time myself on a timer, and I used to make sure that in those 2 hours I'm done with the newspaper. So that helped me in a way that I did not get distracted while I was studying, because I had to make sure that everything was completed in those 2 hours, and it also helped me achieve my targets for the day.
How do you keep your focus? Okay. How do you keep focus necessary momentum while you are studying?
For getting the momentum, again, timetables help a lot, because we never feel the fatigue. We always keep on going because we have new targets to achieve every day. And taking breaks also helped a lot in getting that momentum, because it just helps you rejuvenate. So I'm in my timetable, I had sufficient time for breaks. And if I'm studying 6 days a week, I used to keep the seventh day, Sunday, off. If I have done justice to my targets. If I haven't done justice in the 6 days, then probably I'll cut short the break to half a day. And I used to sit and study and finish the rest of the syllabus on half Sunday and then take half day off. So that's how I used to maintain the momentum.
Did you join any mock test series, and how important is test series both in prelims and mains?
Yes, I joined mock test series both for prelims. I used to gather test papers from the market and do it on my own and time myself. And for mains, I joined an answer writing skill program with a. I think taking mock test series is very crucial for both for prelims and mains, and also taking mock interviews at the time of interview. So how it helps is because we do not get that anxiety at the time of the final exam, and we are constantly checking ourselves how we are faring in the preparation stage. So it is a very crucial part for prelims and mains.
What is the strategy for clearing prelims and mains? Did you follow the integrated approach, or preparations for both, or did you prepare prelims and mains separately?
Actually, the syllabus is very much the same, and the approach also needs to be an integrated one to get the maximum results out of the preparation. And I also followed an integrated approach. For prelims, there used to be a little alteration in the strategy where I used to focus on objective items a lot, factual things a lot, and I used to take a lot of mock tests. And for mains, my focus turned on to developing the analytical skills. On if I'm reading an editorial, the focus won't be on gathering little facts, but on the whole idea of the article and what opinion should I form. So there was little modulations in the approach, but the study material used to be the same for both the stages.
Did you attempt all the questions in your main examination, or did you attempt only those questions? Did you know perfectly? How did you manage your time between questions?
Attempting all the questions, I believe, is a very important thing to do. Not everybody attempts 250 marks paper, and if someone is not doing that, it's you are consciously taking a step back in the race to clearing the exam. So attempting the paper is a very crucial thing to do. And I this year also I attempted all the questions in all the four papers, and it gives a lot of edge because um, even if you're attempting half a page, you might just get 1 or 2 marks. And if you are not, if you're compromising on that question for writing one more paragraph in some other answer, you might just get half marks there extra, which is a bleak possibility. So that is where time management also plays a crucial role in writing the mains exams. So I used to keep 7.5 minutes for every question, and I made sure that it did not turn into even 8 minutes. So time management and attempting all the questions is very crucial in writing mains paper.
So one should write in answers in paragraph or in bullets. What do you suggest?
I think a mixed strategy is good enough because the paper checker does not feel monotonous while checking the paper, and the answer comes very handy to the invigilator.
Do you think one should need to have a strong academic background in studies to crack this exam?
A strong academic background does help a lot because a person has a strong foundation, but it does not matter that if even if you don't have a strong academic background you cannot clear the exam. It's nothing like that. I think a full dedication and hard work in these very 2 years or 3 years, how much it takes, is sufficient enough to crack the exam. Your previous background does not really matter.
Being a commerce graduate, what is your interest in, especially in GS? And what is your weak areas and how you cope up with this?
Being a commerce person, my paper 3 economics was always a strong point, and paper 1 history was kind of weak point because it was not a lot, did not get a lot of interest out of me. But overall, I did not let anything hamper my interest in general studies. I used to take everything with an interest, because if I did not develop an interest for a subject, then I am putting myself at a back step. So I made sure that I develop, even if I don't have, I developed an interest for each and every subject that I studied during the preparation.
How important is family and moral support during preparations?
It is very important because there are days when you don't feel like waking up and going to the library and studying the whole day. It gets monotonous after a point of time. When you start comparing to other batchmates who are doing well in the corporate sector and we are still struggling with the preparation, somewhere negative emotions start coming in. That is when motivation deriving out of friends and family plays a very important role. They act as a very good support system, and they did in my case too.
What strategy do you think works for the best for this examination? Self study, group, or a joint study?
It should actually be a combination of both. And for example, for when you're reading anything for the first time, a self nothing can be better than a self study where you actually need to understand the topic at your own pace, at your own intellect level. When you are revising, that is where probably a group study can help, because you can gain insights from other people's level of understanding also. So it should be a combination, because if you are studying for something for the first time with the group, then probably the group will end up understanding everything and you might just end up sitting blank, what happened with me. So first time it should be self study. Pace your material as per your own speed, and once you're through it, you're revising, you're solving question papers, and that can be sat together in a group. If it's a combination, you will probably enjoy the preparation more. Actually, I cleared the exam in the very first attempt, so I was writing the exam again and again to improve my rank, so that backup fear wasn't really there. But even when I started the preparation, I did not worry much about the backup, because I had made up my mind that if I've entered this preparation, I'll clear it and then I'll go. So,
What strategy and step do you follow to memorize such a vast syllabus? Syllabus is actually
yeah, the
massive.
syllabus is very huge, and as I mentioned before, I used to make my notes, and I used to make diagrammatic notes as much as possible, because then the image of it stays in my mind at the time of writing the exam. And I used to make mind maps while I used to prepare study. So if I'm reading an article from a newspaper for editorial, for example, so I would try to take pointers out of that article and used to write the article in points. For example, if there's a critical analysis for a scheme, so I used to take pros of the scheme and cons of the scheme from the article itself, and I used to write it in bullets in the notes itself. So that is how I used to consolidate the article in a way that it helps me a lot at the time of revision, and that helped to declutter my mind a lot. So that is how I used to make everything concise enough, so that everything just fits in into one register for each paper, and that is how I think I was able to manage the syllabus.
How important is the personal insight and knowledge in writing an answer in the mains examination?
A personal insight helps a person in a way that you can get an edge over other people, because that is where the novelty will come in your answer. If everybody is writing just the same answer which is given in everybody's notes in the market, then there is no edge that your answer has. But if you are developing analytical skills while reading, while preparing, and there is a sense of personal insight which is evident in the answer that you've written, it definitely gives a lot of edge when when the invigilator is checking your answer sheet.
Did you put a total stop to your social life and go underground while you are preparing for the UPSC?
I did not put a total stop, but yes, I reduced it to 10 to 20% of what how I was a very social person, and I cut off from a lot of people, because again the comparisons start coming in that they are doing so well and I'm preparing, just studying, and matching the schedules gets very tricky, where weekends for them means a lot of fun, and for us there is no weekends. For these 3 years there are no weekends, nothing, and everything had to be scheduled as per our plans. So I kind of changed my social circle to people who were preparing, so that all of us could relate to the different stages that we were passing through. So that is how a little bit alterations, and of course we cannot expect to be as social as we were before. It has to be reduced for this one little time. Then if everything happens good, then it just comes back like it did for me.
What kind of schedule you follow in the preparations? A daily routine kind of schedule.
The schedule used to be, I used to wake up in the morning, and 8 o'clock I used to reach the library. I used to keep my sittings for 3 hours, and take half an hour break. So I used to plan it in a way that 3 hours in the morning, then to half an hour break, then again one sitting, then lunch, and some rest time, then again sitting in the evening, then tea break, then again 3 hours sitting in the night, and then dinner and off for home. So that is how I used to target 3 hours, 4 shifts in a day, targeting 12 hours in a day, and which ultimately this thing effectively it used to come to 8 to 9 hours in a day.
How important is the personal and professional profile of the candidate during the interviews?
It is very important. I can say that because I have given 3 interviews, and in my first interview I was not employed, and in my third interview I was training with RPF. So I could see the difference in my own confidence levels in when I was a student and when I was an officer. So it does play an important role, and it gives you a lot of confidence when we already have a backup. And I think it also reflected, because I got second highest marks in the interview this year, 206. So it all reflects the personal and professional profile. It reflects in the interview.
What was your optional subject and why did you choose it and not something else?
My optional was commerce and accountancy. I chose it because I have always been associated with commerce. I did BCom honors from SRCC Delhi University, and then I was working as an internal auditor in Deloitte. So commerce was one thing that I've always been in touch with. So that is why I chose commerce, and that's it.
How did you prepare for your interviews?
For interviews, my strategy used to be I used to circulate my DAF detailed application form to as much people as possible and gather maximum possible questions from everybody. And I used to prepare my answers on those questions. And I used to divide my profile on the basis, I used to maintain a notebook for that also. And for example, I have had my state, my school, my graduation, my job, and my training. So my resume is divided into these five sections. So when I get the probable expected questions from everybody with whom I have circulated my DAF, so I'll divide the questions as per the different sections, and then I'll prepare section wise on the DAF, and then I would take mock interviews as much as possible. This year, my interview fell on the very first day, so that is where my register came very handy, where I had all the questions prepared, and all I had to do was just flip through the pages because everything was done in my previous two interviews, and it helped me a lot. I think this year, almost 70 to 80% questions in the interview were unexpected lines.
Who was your chairman of your board and how long was your interview?
My chairperson was Mr. Manbir Singh. He is a retired IFS officer, and the interview lasted for 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay. Please share your experience, what kind of questions were asked and the interviews inclined towards your personal life, professional life. Were they knowledge and opinion based questions? Share the what kind of questions.
My interview this time, Manbir Singh board, I had got the same board in my previous attempt also.